And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. Going to say it again. Let's get there. Hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share with family and friends, because the insanity, we wake up today, it's Thursday, it's more chaos. Now, just know this. Tomorrow, Trump is set to meet with President Putin. And ahead, of course, of the meeting, Trump and his enablers, they're making an effort, but not just an effort, like a real effort to publicize the narrative that they want to create. Trump posted multiple times this morning showing different headlines publicizing the Russia hoax. Let me show you what he wrote. In it, he turns around and shows Comey's media mole told FBI he shaped Russia narrative, needed discount to deny leaking intel. And that's from justthenews.com, where the FBI confirmed illegal intel leaks, but rounded up no offenders. Declassified memos have unmasked Comey's secret media conduit, a law professor whom Comey put on the government payroll. He also then posted this. Obama Intel Chief James Clapper told the NSA head to get on board with our story on Russiagate Intel. I mean, let me be very, very clear. You've heard me say this many, many times, being that I am involved personally with this Russia hoax. I'm not going to talk about the Steele dossier. We all know that it's bullshit. Hard to imagine that that was the predicate for which they came after me. It's the predicate, in fact, that they went after Trump. And here's the thing. I'm named in that Steele dossier, the initiant to, of course, the Steele dossier and the Russia hoax 11 times. There's 11 allegations raised against me in that bullshit document, none of which, of course, are true, have all been debunked. And so what this does is it gives Trump the ability to continue to try to shape the narrative on him of the Russia hoax, when there's so many other issues that right now should be at the front. Now, I'll tell you, he also posted that Tulsi Gabbard had newly declassified files. Let me show you what he wrote there. In it, he writes, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard newly declassified top secret emails sent on December 22nd of 2016, complying with President Obama's order to create the manufactured January 2017 ICA about Russia, exposed how DNI James Clapper demanded the IC fall in line behind the Russia hoax. Clapper admits that it was a team sport that required compromise on our normal modalities. Now, let me again be very, very clear. I myself have a FOIA request in 5 years. These documents, these 3 documents that I just showed you, I haven't seen them, not until, of course, Trump posted them. These are the types of documents that I was looking for in order to protect myself. Do I believe that Trump, in some respect, is correct here? Yes, I do. 100%. Now, Scott Bessent, of course, and we all know Bessent, for God's sakes, was on Fox News this morning with the one and only Maria Bartiromo, the queen of bullshit, where she asked him about Trump's dismissal of his own deadline for Russia. Now, of course, Bessent said the secondary tariffs on India were leverage against Russia. On India. Play the clip.
Secretary, I mean, look, you've stated that sanctions on Russia can go up or they can be loosened depending on the outcome of this meeting between the president and Putin. But look, President Trump allowed his own self-imposed deadline to pass without doubling down on those sanctions on Russia. Why? Did he want to go into this meeting without the pressure of knowing that he just put these, doubling down on the sanctions? Because, the president was very clear. He said he's giving Putin 50 days until a ceasefire. Then he came out, he said it's 10 days away. He had a deadline of last Friday, but it came and went.
Well, Maria, two things. He brought the deadline back from 50 to 10, and it didn't come and go because we put the secondary tariffs on India. So he's created leverage there, and I think that he's shown President Putin what's in store if things don't go well in Alaska.
So
Sure. Putin's just shaking in his boots. Now, Caroline Levitt was also on Fox. It's where they go. And let me be very clear. We could shit on Fox News all the time. They really have a stronghold on their viewership. No matter what they say, no matter how wackadoodle it is, it's why shows like this are so important. And the goal is to share this so that we start to educate the people who are on the fringe. We're never getting that far right. Because again, Caroline Levitt goes on Fox discussing how complex this war is and how it's all Biden's fault. Play the clip.
This is a highly complex and brutal war that, again, inherited by Joe Biden. Russia did not invade Ukraine under President Trump. They invaded under Joe Biden because of his incompetence and his weakness. And this president is trying to solve it and bring it to an end. And he deserves great credit for that.
Look, time out on that one. What about the 24 hours he'd have this? What about his incredible relationship, his personal relationship with Vladimir Putin that was going to end this war in 24 hours? In fact, Trump even was so bold as to say that he may end the war even before he takes office. Levitt also took the opportunity, of course, to talk about all the global conflicts that Trump has been able to stop. Play that clip.
Some of the people in liberal media and liberal circles, people that the president fired, said that the president is going to be embarrassed by Putin. Speak to that. What does the president walk out of a meeting? We know who he is. I'm sure he's not going to tolerate disrespect from Putin, even though he wants peace, right?
Well, Lawrence, you're being very kind, and I won't be so kind, and I'll just name some of those people, such as John Bolton, who I think has made a disgrace of himself on television and in the newspapers, claiming that he knows better than President Trump. No, he doesn't, and neither do any of these so-called foreign policy experts who have never solved a foreign policy conflict in their lives. Look at what this president has done in 6 months. He has stopped 7 global conflicts all around the world using the leverage of the United States of America to negotiate these conflicts to an end. You had the leaders of Azerbaijan and Armenia at the White House last week, both of whom said this would not have been possible without the leadership of President Trump and his administration. So the American people trust this president. That's why they overwhelmingly reelected him. And I think it's pathetic, some of the chatter that we see from these so-called experts who have zero accomplishments on their own resumes to point to. President Trump knows what he's doing. He has great instincts.
Goddamn, she's good. She can really spread the bullshit far and wide because there is a shred of truth there. And she just continues to promote it as if this is some great miracle. We're still waiting for hostages to be returned. We're still waiting for the end of the Israel-Hamas war, the destruction, the devastation taking place in Palestine. We're still waiting for the Russia-Ukraine war to be over. We're still waiting. 24. Clearly, it's complex. Something Trump, ignored during his campaign promises. Now, look, as I've said, it's unfair. Trump is keeping, for example, Zelenskyy out of the conversation with Putin. But yesterday, Zelenskyy didn't just sit back and do nothing. He spoke in Berlin and he warned that he believes that Putin is bluffing and that, in fact, he's not going to stop the war, regardless of the sanctions, regardless of the relationship with Trump or anything else, that he wants all of Ukraine. Play the clip.
Told President Trump and all our European allies, Putin is bluffing. He's trying to push before the Alaska meeting. On all directions of front line, Russia wants to occupy the whole of Ukraine. This is his wish. And Putin is bluffing that sanctions is nothing and they don't work. In fact, sanctions are hitting Russian war economy hard. It's true. Russia has a lot of weapons, many times over than we have. Artillery, let's say, for three times more. But they sustaining 3 times more losses. And I said about it to our European friends, to President Trump, that Putin definitely does not want peace. He wants to occupy Ukraine. And we all understand that Putin cannot fool anyone. We need future and further pressure and European and American sanctions against Russia. And together, our union of partners can stop war of Putin's.
Yeah. And yesterday, because this isn't over, at the Kennedy Center, Trump was asked by reporters if Putin will face consequences if he doesn't stop the war after tomorrow's meeting. Play that clip.
Will Russia face any consequences if Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war after your meeting on Friday?
Yes, they will. Yeah.
What will the consequences
There will be
be?
consequences.
Sanctions, tariffs?
There will be, I don't have to say, there will be very severe consequences, yes. Yeah, please.
Yeah. We'll wait and see, right? Now, during that Q&A, Trump, I don't know, for whatever reason, he started rambling about the federalization of the police force in D.C. Police, of course, saying that people are calling him a dictator, but it's not true. Play the clip.
We're going to fight crime. That's a good thing. Already they're saying, he's a dictator. The place is going to hell, and we've got to stop it. So instead of saying he's a dictator, they should say, we're going to join him and make Washington safe. But they say, he's a dictator. And then they end up getting mugged, and but the stats are very bad. But we're going to, I think we'll actually get Democrat support. I really believe they can't do this one too.
Yeah. Meanwhile, then a reporter also asked him if he's going to get, or he thinks he'll get, Congress's approval for the federalization. Play that clip.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank
Your federalization of the police has a 30-day limit unless Congress acts to extend it. Are you talking to Congress about extending it, or do you believe 30 days is sufficient?
Well, if it's a national emergency, we can do it without Congress, but we expect to be to Congress, before Congress, very quickly. And again, we think the Democrats will not do anything to stop crime, but we think the Republicans will do it almost unanimously. So we're going to need a crime bill that we're going to be putting in.
That's called authoritarianism. And just like always, his allies are there to back him up regardless of whatever it is that he's going to say. Tom Homan, for example, he went out to the press and he told reporters yesterday that Trump has no limitations on his authority. That, again, is a dictator. Play the clip.
The greatest nation on earth.
Is enough for that, or do you think it would need to be longer?
President Trump doesn't have a limitation on his authority to make this country safe again. There's no limitation.
Let me say this. In my Substack that I wrote this morning, The Midterm War for Our Republic, you cannot underestimate how important the midterms are. I begin my Substack by saying, you think by now the act would have worn thin on everyone's patience? Are you not exhausted? That after years of these lies, lawsuits, convictions, international embarrassment, a federal government run like a bad vanity project for one man's ego, that people would have had enough? But no. Here we are, 2025, waking up every day to a world on fire. International conflicts burning out of control, Washington sliding further into federalized authoritarianism, tariffs squeezing small businesses until they squeal, gerrymandering so shameless that you think state legislatures were drawing maps while blindfolded with crayons, and President Trump's popularity, regardless of all of this, still holding strong in more than half the states in the country. It's why I keep asking you, help me to build this community. Help me to make this community so big, so strong that the midterms go the way we need them to. Otherwise, you can kiss our checks and balances goodbye. And you're going to see more Tom Homans. Every single one of these people will be answering the same way that Tom Homan just did. So help. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.